Hello and welcome! In this video, we will discover 10 tricks that will help you never run out of things to say. Don't all of us dread awkward silences in general? Consider meeting an old friend after years and having nothing to say. Worse still, imagine that you plan to finally get in touch with that distant relative only to discover that new conversations don't flow easily. These can be nightmares for some of us. Such instances are not just embarrassing, but give off a bad impression about our disposition as well. While the actual reason for a conversation not flowing might vary, people often interpret it as a sign of arrogance. Isn't that unfair? Well, totally. Can you change that immediately? Unfortunately, no. Such premature judgment is something that history has internalized into us. It will take time before we finally become more accommodative and understanding. Many people, especially introverts, complain about this problem of not having enough to say. Being an introvert myself, it is a valid concern because social interaction has its benefits, such as the following. 1. It helps in setting up an informal tone that dismantles hierarchy. 2. It gives you a safe space to express opinions. 3. Social interaction ensures that no one feels left out. We have finally found 10 ways that keep a conversation engaging and long. When we tested them in our daily routine, we were surprised to find that these tricks work for real. Check them out for yourself. But just before, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to download your free book to change your life by clicking on the link in the description below the video. 1. Do not use conversation blockers. Last April, a new family settled in our neighborhood. Excited as we were, we thought of organizing a small breakfast with them so that we could get to know our neighbors better. It didn't go as planned. The breakfast was a blooper because it left us all cold. Look at the following examples to understand what we mean. 1. Sophie is a teacher in primary school. To get her talking more about her profession, I asked Sophie if she liked her job. Sophie answered, yes. What followed was a minute of pin-drop silence because none of us knew how to move forward. 2. Heather, Sophie's husband, asked me about the neighborhood. Instead of giving him a descriptive account, all I said was, "It is a good place overall." Neither did Heather encourage me to say more, nor did I bother to delve deeper. These are 2 prominent instances of communication blockers. Any questions that can be answered in binaries of yes and no blocks the flow of conversation. You should ask more open-ended questions. When asking about a profession, frame it as, "Tell me more about your job." That is a more general question. It gives the listener the space to include details that they want. Similarly, short questions are also conversation blockers. Heather should have asked his question more encouragingly if he was interested in finding out my opinions about the neighborhood. That tells me the value of my opinion, and I automatically give a more informative response. 2. Learning to small talk. Some of us might underestimate the potential of small talk. Believe me when I tell you that small talk takes us a long way. Questions about someone's well-being or how someone is adjusting to the weather are a means through which you can make out the mood and state of mind of any individual. Small talk acts as a conversation opener because it creates a feeling of comfort and anticipation. Suppose I ask you if you like rain. It is a general courtesy according to which you will ask me if I like the rain as well. If our opinions match, we get to bond over common likes and dislikes. If we have different opinions, we get the chance to hear a different perspective and see if there is a midway for us to rest our case. Plus, small talk evokes amiability. You can start your conversation with something that you notice about a person. For example, I had to make small talk with my neighbor Sophie when I ran into her during one of my morning walks. I started the conversation by saying, "I noticed that you love gardening. I find you watering your plants every morning. I think it is a really warm feeling when you can nurture something on your own. What do you think?" Trust me, it worked magically. 3. You cannot expect conversations to flow if you do not listen carefully. We all know that conversations require a speaker and a listener, both literally and symbolically. It becomes impossible for any communication to happen if both of you are speakers. That conversation will just be a non-negotiable series of monologues. I assume nobody wants to have a conversation with someone who does not want to listen. If you want to have good listeners around you, try to become one. Pay close attention to the details that the other person mentions because they might come from a very personal place. Reiterate those details to them so that they know that you heard them intently and paid attention. To have someone who listens is a rarity these days. My friend Kurt has this habit of repeating small things that I once told him at absolutely unexpected circumstances. This makes him an especial conversationalist because he is someone you would like to talk to, not only because he remembers you and your interests, that just makes you feel heard and noticed. 4. If you have a story to tell, go ahead. If I tell you that once upon a time, I almost drowned in the Indian Ocean, will you want to listen further? Of course you will, because of 2 simple reasons. 1, it is a bizarre real-life occurrence, and it does not happen to everyone. 2, it compels you to find out the subsequent revelations, which can feed your mind's curiosity and tell you if the account was honest. Fair enough? Right. This is the art of storytelling. It grabs the person's attention. By sharing stories, you allow a person to become a part of your memory. It makes them feel comfortable. In all probability, they also get to know more details about you that might be connected to that one instance. Here, it answers the question, why I hate water. Storytelling is also a good way to give the person a chance to open themselves up. If they feel comfortable, they might share a few of their experiences with you. That means lots of dialogues, feelings, and comments. That is all you need for a conversation to grow more engaging and better. 5. Express yourself freely and honestly. We know what you are wondering, that you were always taught to be refined and mindful of what you say. Well, we agree that you must watch over what you say, but that does not mean you have to constrain your level of honesty. You should have the freedom to express how you feel about a topic. If you are not able to understand what a person is saying, feel free to acknowledge that and kindly ask the person to repeat or explain. Similarly, if you are not feeling comfortable communicating about a particular incident, it is your right to let the other person know. Honesty is the bedrock on which you build your conversation. This is because that conversation might decide the future of your relationship. It is an urgent need that our generation normalizes differences in opinions and appreciates honesty. Why not start with casual conversations with friends? If you do not like to talk about home because you do not understand what this term home socially implies, you should be honest in saying that out loud and politely. 6. Have backup questions that give people a green signal. It is natural that sometimes you might not feel the energy to extend a conversation. However, you hope to keep it going just because you know it is your one chance to make a person feel better. In such circumstances, you can use backup questions that are always at your rescue. Even when you are not in the headspace to frame questions, these are simple interrogations that just register themselves at the back of your mind. By using these, you can avoid giving a signal that you are not interested in having any conversation. Some of these questions are: 1. What is your dream destination? 2. What is your favorite time of the year? 3. Are you a cat person or a dog person? 4. Tell me one cartoon character that describes you best. Oh, that's easy.
My name is Optimus Prime, and I send this message through this YouTube video to the stars.
Oh, please, don't click that. Don't click that dislike. Don't click that dislike button. 5. What is your favorite dish and why? These are just casual questions that all of us love to answer because they touch an emotive side of our personality. As long as your listener is comfortable in answering these, such questions are just so engaging that they strike an informal chord with people. 7. Take note of what your body language says. When I was in my low phases, the best way through which I avoided conversations was by not maintaining an eye contact. It immediately proved that either I was in a hurry or I was not interested in having any full-fledged discussion. However, if you are behaving in this manner unintentionally, it can unknowingly cost you many good conversations. If your body is giving out statements that you do not intend, you better be careful the next time. While conversing, you need to hint that you are interested in hearing out what the person has to say. For that, maintain eye contact, allow your self-confidence to come through clearly, and keep rendering fillers such as, "Oh, really? Whoa, that's surprising. Far out, dude." Maybe not that one. Etc. 8. Understand the comfort level of the other person. Here is the important tip. Never stretch the boundaries of a person who is not comfortable talking to you. That is one basic courtesy everyone deserves from a community that believes in individuality. If the person is interested, questions like why, how, and when are appreciated. However, if the person is not feeling comfortable in maintaining that tone with you, you have to take a step back and ensure that you respect the person's inclination. You must understand that such a disposition is not meant to discredit your efforts. Their energies and mindset may be different from yours at that moment. The least we can do in such circumstances is to be kind towards them. 9. Talk about music, TV shows, and books. Music has a remarkable experience of making two individuals bond. Music has the inherent tendency to reach the real side of your personality, and it just makes you want to talk more. Ask a person about their favorite album, and trust me, you will get insight into how they think and feel about life in general. So, it goes for books, movies, and TV shows. You could hardly meet a person who does not want to talk about Game of Thrones, Friends, Marvel's Era, Wonder Woman, A Walk to Remember, The Notebook, and more. Sorry. I'm still crying from seeing that one. These are legendary works that have reached out to so many people. Talking about such stuff is exciting. That brings us to the point of what if you meet someone who does not share the same cultural background as you? Believe me when I say that getting to know about someone's culture is a boon in disguise. You should make every effort to share information while ensuring that you do not hijack others' space. It is good to pass your knowledge, and it is better to let the other person pass theirs. 10. Read about current affairs and develop your general knowledge. It is good to be an informed individual. Knowledge gives you confidence in your abilities. If you are in a professional or personal circle and the discussion seems to be on a very specific subject, your knowledge will help you stand out, and you will get to choose if you want to engage further. If you are one of the informed individuals in your friend circle, it should be your responsibility to ensure that the discussions do not get entirely exclusive and too specific. You should maintain a tone where everyone gets to speak and share. On the other hand, listeners must understand that listening is an underrated habit. It helps you to register a lot of information. So if you do not know about a topic, it is okay to hear what others have to say. We are sure that if you listen intently, many questions will arise within your mind. You can then resolve them accordingly. The bottom line: for you to become good at conversations, it is important to show kindness to yourself and others. Do not feel shy because you are misinformed, uninformed, or not into the conversation. Rather, use it to your advantage. Keep telling yourself that you are here to learn and improve yourself. You should be confident that you know what you want. Be kind to those who wish to engage in a conversation with you. Your approach in any professional or personal space should be to evoke warmth. Everyone deserves a voice, and each one of us has a lot to discuss. If that is the ultimate truth, why worry? These tricks will create many engaging and long conversations. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, and especially subscribe to the channel. You are also free to receive the new book, 7 Secrets to Change Your Life Now, by clicking on the link in the description below the video.
My name is Optimus Prime, and I approve this message.